So yeah, being. I don't think it's necessarily about Umti. I don't believe in anything. I think it's just like I'm taking this thing as it comes, man. If new information is presented to me, and if it makes sense to me, the information, then I just take it in stride, rather than saying, no, no, God is there. I believe is there. Finish. I don't think I'm meant to live my life that way.
Yeah,
I think I'm meant to live my life in a way, Uguti. Okay, I'm gonna take things as they are.
yeah. Man, I think with me, the problem, or well, rather, the thing that's there is the fact that I'm spiritually gifted, ne? And this has proved itself to me, regardless of what other people have said. Yeah, other people have told me, "Buhle, you're spiritually gifted," but I had to see it myself to understand. Okay, this is what's going on, and this is what I'm supposed to do with it. So if it wasn't for that, I think I'd also just be like, you know what, whatever's whatever.
You see?
And I think I choose to believe Uguti, there's no one religion or like spiritual practice that is 100% accurate or 100% true, but there's truth in all of them. There are lessons that you can find and learn from all these different belief systems. Like I was reading up on Eat Buddhism the other day, and I'm like, okay, some of these things make sense. Then you read up on the Quran, and then you're like, okay, this makes sense. Then you reflect it with different African like spiritual practices, and you're like, okay, the 48 laws of Ma'at make sense. Certain things are reasonable, understandable. So I feel like there's certain things that you can find truth in within all these different belief systems.
So I think it's just people just trying to make sense of how the world
works. Because I feel like that's the main reason why religion or spirituality exists in the first place.
And with like people, listen, it's okay. Have purpose. If you feel like religion gives you purpose, that's great for you, man. That's great. I think that's awesome. If you think you can live your life decently because religion is in your life, then dog, by all means practice it, right?
Yeah.
And then there's people who are such as myself. I can be a decent person without being in I don't tie me being decent to my religion rather, or me finding a sense of purpose in religion, but rather what? But rather finding purpose in what I do. Like in what I do, trying to find out, like, dude, why am I here? Like, what the F am I here? Like,
what are we doing here, guys? Like, honestly.
Like, what am I here to do? So in some other senses, like that other time, Auntie, like I think it was more evident, and it becomes more evident even you go to okay, the people are there. This is evidence that I cannot somehow explain, but it's evidence nonetheless.
Yeah.
So I can't deny its existence. So that's why it became so practical to me. It was like, you know what? They mean there's other things that make sense. I connect to them, and that's fine. It's my thing. I do it. But there's so many other things that don't make sense to me. Which is, why are you doing so many other things that harm you? But these are like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't. So to get you to do what they want, they have to take away a certain physical ability of yours. Your ability to walk, they have to take that away, or they have to take away ability to speak.
Or to speak, yeah.
For you to mama, maybe it's their way of saying, "Do this is serious." I don't know. I don't know how.
You know what that depends on. If you're a person that's spiritually gifted, people are not spiritually gifted in the same way. And so people are not gifted with the same spirits. And certain spirits, for example, Jobo show like physical impairments, like a person's almost lost their leg, now they can't walk. Like usually it would be a case you would see that person has umguni, which is a spirit that believes in portraying itself physically, because those are spirits that went to war and they believe what violence is the answer, basically. So in that sense, they try to get your attention through you getting injured or having some physical injury or anything of the sort. But still, like I feel like sometimes these losses take it too far. Like, why are we breaking legs, guys? Like
why are you trying to break
fair.
That's what they did to Mzimkulu's leg. They broke it. Mzimkulu broke Mbali's leg. because I don't know, Umbali was supposed to listen to a message that he kept on sending. Because when son I call him some care about something. I call him yeah, was it before? I think Lapuga before was
I'm
when
gonna picture
no, not before. Lapuga before was also by
Dos.
yeah, yeah, I remember. Because even throughout in Tasso, and it went Tasso, the pod.
That's always the case though, because Umgoni believes what hasn't. If you won't hear me, I'll beat it out of you. You listen to me because now.
But then again,
violence.
angisho mhlambe I think from whatever mangibuza noSolomon uthi uyakwazi ukulifundisa ukuthi ningabatsiphi ubiza ukutsipha utho kwenu mhlambe udlozi like urobona uronyoni or mabavuke yilo uthole kube into ukuthi uyaba udani unijikeni bayatsipha ngoba ngathi abafuna ukumamela into abenze because kuthi ukuthi mhlambe bekangasafika phahla ekuseni before emsebenzini, all of those kind of things,
Yeah.
right? So it'd be that kind of thing. So mhlambe amtsipha mhlambe inyawo libe worse instead of ukuthi liphuke altogether because bese liphukile already inyawo libe worse into enyane ezinjalo okay ba ukuthola ukuthi limvuke konje nento konje but yeah uthola limvuke jikijiki umuntu sakaphathwa nyana amapeni angazwisisi kusho ukuthi yilo vele nako le mtsipho so I don't understand if there were people I think with them being people themselves, I think they can sort of be like mangashila bathi liyafundiswa nakhona ngoba no auntie kujika uyakwazi ukufundisa mhlawumbe ihloso lakhona ukuthi ningezi ngolaka malifiki.
Yeah, after like I feel here's the thing, in order for you to be able to even tell that Lozi, hey, my gent, calm down. You have to first build a relationship with that Lozi.
I mean,
remember, like it's a two-way street. It may seem like Bona is just giving instructions, but Liu and I are allowed to ask for some things. Ask them, hey guys, we can't be doing this every day, every weekend. Please calm down. Just want to
guys, you must relax.
So you must first build, like, establish some sort of relationship with these people.
But don't you
that
think?
Spirit.
But don't you think that is just a human experience in itself?
It is.
Because in order for you to get somebody to sort of calm down, you sort of have first to understand where they are coming from, and that means getting to know them.
Getting to know that person and establishing some type of
I don't know, relationship,
like just some type of foundation as to
dude, why are you like this? Why are you violent? Just that day, why are you violent? And then they'll tell you, and then you're like, oh, okay.
Because in them being ancestors, once upon a time they also lived among the flesh.
Exactly.
So it's not difficult for them. Well, it should not be difficult for them to understand human experiences and whatnot.
I think people, they have these misconceptions, so many misconceptions. Like I'm like, so there aren't these many misconceptions about. There's so many, and then they were debunked within a day. I was like, so all of these other things are nonsense. They're just nonsense.
Which things though?
People make it seem as if these people are completely, and you can't reason with them. I'm like, you can't reason with people you can't reason with speakers
that were alive, that were present in this world, that understand how this world works.
Even the one that died like 2 years ago, what's that? Because they live in the 21st century. They lived in the 21st century.
They understand. And this thing, you can't even like use a bit of English.
Why not?
Or when you're talking about spiritual matters, but don't use English. Guys, our ancestors weren't stupid. Our ancestors lived within this world.
How? Some of them died 30 years ago. Some of them died 20 years ago.
10 years ago, 5 years ago. You tell me these people don't know English.
Guys.
The ones that can hear me can hear me. They'll translate to the other ones. I believe in translation amongst these people. Somewhere, somehow, somebody will translate.
Yeah, I feel like if they translate, things just become easy. So they can message here figure either way. Because this is the other time they made fun of us for going to in English.
Really?
So why are you making fun? Why are you making fun of English?
For the mere fact that he's partnering, let's just
say
it's about intention.
Yeah,
It's
it's
all
the
about
intention.
intention.
Guys, ngifike la ngizobulisa ne-grand sharp. Even if you speak ngetsotsitala, khona uzokuzwa.
Exactly. Somebody will translate. There's no way the message won't get across.
Because uthini umntwana? Sitshela ukuthi umntwana uthini.
But no, this is what this person is saying.
At manje yibile limi olukhulumayo. Hayi limi abajike balikhuluma isitsotsitala. Oh, okay, sharp.
Because I feel now if there's like a default language or a default way that people expect you to do things, you're not even comfortable with upahla and such.
And I feel like like the intention behind the message that you're going to say. Language is also important, man. Language is also important because how you express yourself in that particular moment. Your language, like it brings out. Like when you ask for these things, you ask because in a language it comes across in so when you ask it in a language that you're comfortable with, and you ask it, and it will you get more even if English. And then njengoba ngenza lesicelo lesi siphume enhlizweni lesicelo lesi. So my fear kulo muntu lo uzotolika to in a sense uzo understand. So I feel like people just like complicating things. Spirituality, religion, people just generally like to complicate things, man.
And I feel like with me, it took me a while to get used to pasha because I wanted to do it how dad did it or how this other person does it. But then I realized, babes, just have a conversation with these people. Just talk as if they're here. Just have a conversation and be direct. Because something that a lot of people do, they run around in circles. They beat around the bush. Tell them what you want. Dude. You must be specific.
I told them I want money. That's what I told them last time.
Yeah, be specific. Guys, I want a double story in Senton and a car that looks like this and it's white and it's got leather seats and
now you must show me what must I do
in order to get there. And manifest it like...
that's what I told her. What was it? Like 2 weeks back, I told her, guys, listen here. I want to launch a business and I'm following the business plan by approve. So what I want you guys to do? You give me money. I'm paying for you guys. That's what I want. I'm promotion is but okay. Thola umunye umsebenzi okay ngithi njengoba sokuvulela ngivulela eminye YouTube imisebenzi uzothola salary engcono ngoba le salary le engithola kwamanje yena uzongichuba but after a while ngisokhona ukwenza izinto. That's what I told them. Ngithi okay kahle bengazela ngokulonga kuphela bengizonibulisa futhi ngicheck ukuthi and ngisaphila. That's funny. Ngisaphila. Yeah, but you guys you guys are off the other side, but yeah, exactly, but you catch my drift. So yeah, I feel when I say that I feel like okay, all right, inclusive issue is ikhuluma lento efuna ukuyikhuluma siyiqedile nje manje ngaphuma ngithi okay ukhethe ngishiyela naloku ke cha bodon ngiphuma nempepho sengiyaphuma ngihamba ngemsebenzi. I did that other time before I went to work.
Do you use indawo ka-auntie or do you do it in your room?
Emsamo ngingena emsamo ngibachela ukuthi guys manje shoni ke ngapha no auntie this other time bayimfuleni ngimgayithuka nje ngicela ngicela yeah azonto ngicelelana imali eningi but that's not really specific.
Babes.
Like why didn't she say kube ngicela ngithi anicela ube specific next time manje mhlambe nguphi 2 rand ngicela baje ukuthi ngidinga 5 million bangiphi 5 million ufuna
I don't want 500 rand.
No I want 5 million so ngizokhona ukuvula ibusiness enjena.
Must be very specific. Have you never gone to a river before?
No ungicela ne girlfriend uzongithanda. Wow auntie, that's auntie being auntie. Ungicela ne girlfriend asicela uphume nomuzi girlfriend right wonke umuntu wahleka wonke umuntu wahleka came back but yazi umuzi bakuceleleni wathi mama uanti ucelele ngithi ucelele girlfriend nemali ngithi okay le mali ngithi le girlfriend le girlfriend okay imali utheni athi ngicelele imali kuphela manje bazokwazi kanjani kumele bazongipha kanjani
200 rand but
uthe ucela imali
ngifuna 5
million ngicabanga nokubatshela uma ngibuyela manje ngigeze ngiphini 5 million.
But another thing about this thing, it's like as much as you want them to like and give you money. I once heard somebody said, "Nithi bayithathe phela imali ngifuna ukuthi banike yona." So for me, it's like as much as I will ask for money, I will also give them money. I will also like make them tea, give them biscuits, just to show I'm not always asking, but I'm giving, and I'm asking you
As
guys
well.
too.
Nami
Organize things that side
No, but
for it to reflect the side as well.
But that question, ukuthi bayothatha kanjani first? I'm not saying ngivuke kusasa ngiphuphe 5 million phezu kombhede. No, I'm not saying that. What we're saying is put me.
Don't let the opportunities be blocked. Like open
exactly
the doors,
for me to get them and
put me in the right path so that I can get to where I want to be.
So manje ngicela hayi ukuthi ngicela ukuthi ngivuke kusasa ngine 5 million. No. They vele yenza sense. They can't do that. They can't. Not unless again. It's extenuating bekuyi 1 in a million.
I never mind 1 in a million unless it's some circumstances that involve some very, very dark magic actually.
Circumstances. Yabona ke dark magic and don't
So
what can you say?
Because now people will get hit.
Exactly.
People get hit.
So yeah man, spirituality, religion, these things.
Very complex. Yeah. And I always imagined you to be like maybe like after some time like a drama or like some sort of CZ of somebody's. I don't know why. I just always like thought
they have one day been trying to get
you as a drama or something. I feel like you'd be awesome drama. Like
never. I told them I'm not doing that, man. Looked at her, I was like, I'm not doing that. Looked at her at the time, I was like, I'm not doing that.
They wanted you to play the drums.
Yeah, I was wondering so shy scoop me, man.
I feel like I'd be horrible at that, yo.
Shy scoop. I was okay, never.
Bonaki.
I feel kidding. Shy scoop. No. I think I'll be fine.
I think with spirituality right now, I'm at a point where I just want to understand what's going on for me. Like what type of spirits do I have? So I know how to like navigate it and what to do in terms of the things that I see. Like how to help and what type of gift do I have? How is it supposed to be used? Because our gifts aren't the same. Some people must go to us, some people mustn't. And I don't want to be in a situation where if only I had read more or tried to understand things better.
So you'd rather do it now. Try to understand
then
it more
first before I even have to make big decisions.
Yeah. I think that's perfectly logical.
Because I've seen so many cases where people go and twasa for 3 years bangaphumi ephehleni bazibuza ukuthi why bona bangaphumi ephehleni kanti thola ukuthi that person wasn't supposed to go twasa. Maybe that spirit didn't need to like be twasad for.
You find in some other cases abanye bahle ntwaso that's it.
They're not supposed to like heal others or babula matambo. Or some people are just sent to like heal their families. Some people are meant to heal kids. Some people are just not meant to heal others but heal their losses and heal themselves.
Exactly. So them going there, it was supposed to be they're healing themselves there by healing the muscles. And then afterwards they can go back to
or whatnot. Then they can go back to whatever
life.
They want to do.
Exactly. So that can be then the ancestors can just decide bazongena omunye ke. When I decided hey, ngolo sebenza lo msebenzi zimela awenze asiqhubekeni sinike omunye umsebenzi. Nahanya thatha umnika umsebenzi but wena vele kumele ube nomsamo ube namathwasa ulapha abantu
heal people. Yeah, seems so complex though. Seems very complex, especially now. But I'm glad that now there are many more people speaking out and talking about all these different spirits and their signs, because I feel like in order to understand what you must do, you need to understand what type of spirit you have. Exactly. And there are so many spirits in the spiritual world or in the Dlozi space. Like you may even end up like going into initiation whereas you weren't supposed to, or or phuza phalaza the gazis and everything, and you weren't supposed to do that, and then after ipehlo you wonder why everything is stagnant. You understand? So I'm glad that there are more resources. Like right now, if you could go on YouTube and just search what is umnguni, there will be an explanation. What are the signs
But
that you need to twasa for umnguni?
I think that's I think that's generally a great thing. I think it's a great thing that we are people are now we're receiving information of what
What is
this,
what?
what is supposed to do it. And where I think it's how, because in other countries they take these things so seriously that they blend it with Western medicine. I think it should be. Honestly, I think African, shall I say, medicine should be infused with Western medicine. This are hand in hand. Because in some other cases, you might find other problems need to be solved by African medicine, but it could be probably it's African medicine, né? And then but with a sort of scientific method, a more researched, a more scientific method where they try to find out what is in, like they break down some of the content of the, let's say, the plant, which what does it have, what properties, what does it do for your body, what does it clean your blood, does it do this, does it do this, how is it going to help? And then they're probably developing some other pill with mhlambe. If an
If
experiment,
these two
yeah,
things come together,
if we mix just this element and this element and we put it together, what would it have a cure for something? Would it treat
this or that.
this or better? So I think, because they still, if leso stereotypes of Peluguti, they cannot be recognized. They must be, I think they must be recognized by registered. So kungabi khona abantu abazoba fraud, of course. Like, you're trying to limit the amount of people that are going to be frauded, right? By people. I don't know if frauded is it the right word?
Hey, babes, I don't know.
Is frauded the right word?
We don't know, but let's just hope so.
Okay, it's probably the right word. So you don't want that physically. You want more people to be helped than with Buffalo, like,
But
because,
Mali and everything.
yeah, because I feel like in most cases these people now, they not opportunists themselves, but you could say now. So if you say so if they tell you something else, but okay, then they and then they start, they like spend them 5,000, 6,000, 10,000. Somebody said something else. When I remember this, I was having a conversation with a colleague at work. He was saying, umuntu uzospenda i-10,000 ukuzofind out ukuthi banomntshontshe i-3,000.
Like, make it make sense, my brother.
Some other things you think about
it's
them,
like
and
you could have just avoided this.
it sounds uncommon,
but it is so
common. It sounds very uncommon
so
ukuthi uthole umuntu athi bangitshontshele i-1,000 rand futhi wazi ukuthi ubani.
They're gonna spend more money, guys.
Exactly.
Guys.
Or you'd spend time. Oh, I think he put it perfectly, Marisha. So he's Ute, you spend 10,000 rand to find out who wayewasebenzi.
Make it make sense for me. That 10,000 could have been an investment, babes. Could have been
okay,
something. It could have been something
not investment,
other than.
But that 10,000, you could probably find yourself doing things that
were worth that time.
And would get you closer to getting a job rather than finding out where you're not getting a job. And then eventually that person is going to end up telling you, no, you're not getting a job because you didn't hlaba embuzi. No, you must hlaba embuzi.
More money. Yes, embuzi dura kanjani.
Embuzi is expensive, dog. It's like 1.5 now. 1.5 on average. Well, but okay, not 1.5. If you get those ones, that was a look shit. What do they call? What do they call? But I bet Magati scrabble loya no to think impossible.
Lingana
nekat, but I'm telling you 2,000 not love.
But I think that's also why now, to be a practicing Nyanga, first of all, you need a certificate. You need to take tests. You need to, and some people can further their studies in terms of African medicine.
Exactly.
And then that's why we have Inyanga being doctors now. And then the fact that doctors can now refer patients to Inyanga Namaketla for African or like traditional remedies. I think so, and then these two things will just work
But I feel
hand
like
in
I feel like
hand.
it's taking too much time, honestly.
But everything takes time, dude. Look how long it took for the mass extinctions to happen. Each of them, all five
How
of
long
them.
did it take? How long did it take?
Yeah, babes, the first one took it, millions of years.
Millions of years. First
Right
extinction.
now, we're like in the sixth mass extinction, and I think we've been in it for a couple of million years now, ever since modern humans
Yeah.
started existing.
So we'll probably be dead to even care about what if the world is gonna go
Long gone,
extinct.
long gone,
Like
long
do
gone.
it.
Dot dot
Ah,
dot dot.
that's nice to hear.
But here's the thing: with the other mass extinctions, there was always climatic factors or
So I
some
guess
asteroid.
so
Now
now
we are the reason. We are the reason for these mass extinctions. It's not like there's gonna be an asteroid boom. I mean, the sun might stop working at some point, even
imagine.
due to nuclear fission. It's just gonna stop burning, and then that
Imagine. And
death.
these people still no guys, we must we must start like they come up with these there's no we must save a whole lot more water. We must take care of the environment. You must not waste we must not use coal, we must do away with coal. I particularly those Western countries, honestly, I feel like they're hypocrites. I feel like they're
Why do you
hypocrites
say
of
so?
I think I feel like they're hypocrites. Case in point was the Russian invasion of Ukraine. I'm probably getting my facts wrong, right? I'm gonna have to Google this. Probably getting my facts wrong. They stopped. Russia stopped a supply of gas to Germany,
Okay.
and I think Germany had to light up old power stations of coal. The coal that they're supposed to be discarding because it's affecting climate change is the one they're starting up. They did it. I think it's a couple of other Western countries that did the very same thing. So they went backwards, but they are criticizing African countries for using coal.
Yeah,
Wow.
here is like how guys.
How guys?
Now you have double
This is you.
standards.
This is you.
Ah.
This is you. You are saying okay, guys, stop using coal.
But we gonna use it.
But we
Y'all,
can
y'all,
use it
y'all finna stop though.
because yeah, you can stop. In fact,
I, on the other
you
hand,
must use solar and ton. So if that fails, you don't have a backup. So
thing is, we should be saving the environment. But the way things are now, there's so many more factors than wanting to save the environment that go into saving the environment. Now it's political. Now it has to do with the economic status of a country or like a continent. It's
Yeah.
not even about the environment anymore.
dude,
It's about like the economic status of the country. Can we afford to be having solar power? Can we afford to have hydropowered dams and whatnot and whatnot? Now it's even political now.
you know, what okay, I think you probably get a general sense when people say when you talk about predators, right?
Predators.
Yeah, when you talk about I don't. It's going. You're gonna realize this is connected anyway. But let me explain. So you'd find that we fear lions and all of that, but it turns out human beings are probably the apex predator. So, what do humans? Who's humanity's biggest threat? Humanity itself.
Humanity. Human beings.
I feel like it baffles me every time. It gets me every time.
Because there's nothing that is, we are not prey to anything. Like, we don't have a predator. We don't have something out to get us except for ourselves.
Yeah, we destroy ourselves though.
There's no certain animal that's out here eating human beings, but other human beings. So,
Human beings are strange.
very strange.
Human beings are strange, though. They baffle me. So now we sort of have to wait for these movies where the plot like these alien movies where humanity has to band together
Yeah.
now to fight the aliens and
Now,
that. So,
because we are quarter to dying, now we must come to
you know what
together.
happens after you know what happens if you somehow escape
leave.
somehow fend off those aliens. You know what happens? We go back to fighting.
Imagine.
Human nature.
I feel like aliens are somewhere out there. They're just kicking, just looking at the shit show that is Earth. They're like,
Exactly. They're
you
looking
guys
at
are
it. They're looking at
mediocre
it. I think they're looking at us the same way as we look at ants.
ants. They're like, What are they doing this time on
What?
episode
Did
300?
did they just bomb? Whoa! Did
Why
they
are
just
they
bomb that
bombing each
other?
other?
Whoa! Did they just bomb those people who have this? They have brown skin, but they have curly hair. Why?
Why are we bombing those ones? Now they must fill each other in. Okay. I
No,
still
what-
don't understand.
Why are you bombing? Are you bombing them because they don't want to follow your rules? What do you want there? You want gold. What do you want to do with
I
that?
feel like aliens must think that we are like so stupid. I feel like they're on a different level of understanding. So when they look at us, they're like, huh?
Dude,
I are a mess, yo.
what do you? This is an
Mean,
entire mess. You guys bomb
basically.
each other because you want to take something.
Huh?
Why can't you just exchange? Like any decent,
Being, to put it that way.
why can't you do that? So you just wanna take if you take it by force and then you kill the people. Why? Does that make sense?
Human beings are very weird people. And the more you meet different human beings, the more you realize, Uguti,
These people are strange.
you ever meet somebody and hear something that comes out of their mouth and you're just like,
yeah.
"Awena."
Is there a type of human being like this? I'm coming.
Like you even wonder if are we giggling? Are you joking with me, or this is your real personality?
And they're probably saying it with a straight face. They're probably saying
just
that
in passing, casual, just
they like
with the air.
you like.
Ah,
Did you just say that?
you can't say stuff like that.
And you can't even
just-
dignify that with a response. What do you say? Like genuine, what do you say? What do you say to somebody telling you something so stupid? That you are like,
Sure.
the earth is flat. Oh my god. That kills me every time. The earth is flat. I'm like, oh.
Flat earthers will be the end of us.
So, okay. How is the earth flat? And then they have this explanation. So if you walk straight, but if you walk straight, you won't fall. I'm like,
Kajani, babes, you said it's flat. What do you mean? Whatever do you mean? And how is it then gonna be? How do we have different time zones? How do you explain that?
how do you have different times? How is it
How is
different
it?
time?
So you're telling me here on top it's day, and then
They-
what happens? Does it flip? Does it flip? Does the sun go around all of a sudden? Pella, if you're gonna think that the earth is flat, you have to reconsider the way the entire solar system works. Because
Dude,
now things must work differently.
Okay,
to suit the fact that the earth is flat.
like to put it simply, because I was having this other debate with these other people this other day. We were sitting outside. It's okay if the earth is flat. Okay, let's discuss it. Let's discuss for 10 marks. Let's discuss for 10 marks.
Discuss for 10 marks.
If the earth is flat, if the sun starts here, why does it go down that way? What's going on there? Why does it go in a shape that seems that curves?
So you're telling me it's always day here. Then how do we experience it?
Night. How?
Make it make sense.
And then they tell you it's a simulation. Simulation in Jani. Wait.
Never mind simulation. That's an entire different conversation. Let's focus on why
The
you're saying
moon.
the earth is flat.
The moon is. Guys.
But now we have to question how the entire solar system works.
Works.
It's like now we must think, okay.
So what are they
Basically.
basically saying? They're saying the only thing that exists is Earth. It's just us human beings. We are just here. There's nothing else.
So then the other planets, what does this mean for the other planets? If it
They're
is
also flat.
All of them is just
It's
just
flat.
rectangles
So,
everywhere.
so how would you explain?
Guys, no.
No.
You guys are getting 0 out of 10 because what are we doing here?
Yeah. Yes. Like,
like,
there's not
why-
even one. You can't even get 2 out of 10 if you like your flat earther.
Ah.
How do you explain?
How does it make sense to you? Me, I want to understand. How do you even get to the conclusion
Listen,
to
you
the
can
fact that the earth is
Lalela, as a person who believes that the earth is flat, you can even put it so logically that it makes sense, but you're still gonna get 0 because there's no way.
Because when I think flat, I think paper flat. I think
Like
flat.
when you say straight, like straight, but somehow there's a surface that's always curved.
Like there's nothing that's 100% straight. But like
How is the earth flat?
flat, babes,
How-
flat.
what?
How are we digging and not digging a hole through the earth?
Earth.
Then make it make sense to me.
So must go. Why is not showing little pants?
And all of a sudden we're in space.
We did.
We're floating. We're just floating in the abyss because we're digging.
Dead within. How long does it take you to asphyxiate when you're in
I
space?
don't know. I'm not quite sure, hey.
How long
But
does
I
it
just
take
know because I'm sure there's no air in space. There's no air, so there's no sound. It's just vibes, no thoughts.
So that's so
I think you just die.
you just die.
Cause like
Split second.
probably like second, yeah.
Damn.
Cause
Like
there's
a
no
split
air.
second,
You're
dog.
not breathing. Nothing's happening.
Not like a split second. If it so happens by some degree of a miracle that the earth is flat and we dig a hole. And,
Imagine
and we
trying
dig
to
a hole.
just and then
And the next thing you did after like a millisecond. Okay. Yeah, but that's strange. Flat earthers, they don't
how
consider.
does that even explain stuff like lava, like mines? Like you tell me that if I dig and dig and dig, I'm in Morocco because the Morocco's underneath the planet. Guys, take me serious.
Aye.
Ha!
Flat earthers, worst.
Everyone so badly to prove their point.
Dude.
It's like, guys, the earth is round. Why are we not falling off the corners?
Dude, okay, it wasn't like people who believed in it. It wasn't really that we don't believe that we believed, and then the US government just casually confirms that yes, aliens exist. I'm like, guys.
Hello, guys.
So all of this time,
it's just, and the fact that there is a possibility or a theory that there is an infinite number of universes.
Okay, that shit scares me.
So you tell me that it could be another me in some different universe.
Yeah.
And what are the chances that this other me right now is having the same conversation, doing the same thing that I'm doing?
Dude, imagine that.
Yeah.
That's what freaks me out.
What if in the other universe I have 3 eyes?
Dude, why are you working that in the other universe have 3 eyes? Why? But like in hindsight, but think about it. Like in hindsight, why are you working that you have 3 eyes in another universe?
Just like the thought of there being another me. Have you ever heard of shifting?
What is that?
Shifting is this thing that people do. It's almost like lucid dreaming, where people say that they saw universes with the other them in the next universe.
Okay, that's good.
Or create a realm, because if there's an infinite number of universes, some people believe that you can create your own realm, right? Through intense meditation and lucid dreaming, and there's so many different methods in order to shift. So basically, you in a basic setting, you are in a different place, and that person is here, but you are still aware of both worlds. You are just in that other one. I don't know how true that is, and I'm so scared to try it because what if something goes wrong? But apparently, you can't get physically hurt. This just gets creepier. It's so like there's so many different methods. So many people have spoken about it. It gets a trend, and people are just like, guys, I've been shifted.
It gets creepier.
And
I think at some point, probably either of us have done it. I'm not sure if I can back that up. I don't have evidence to back that up. We don't. We're just speculating at this point.
Maybe you did it subconsciously.
Subconsciously, maybe we did it.
I don't know. Like there were times where like you'd wake up and you'd feel like you are not you, or you are having like an outer body experience.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it's something that's similar to that, where you're like aware that you're not feeling like yourself, or you don't feel real. You ever not feel real?
Oh yeah.
You ever like feel like
you like
I'm just gonna.
Is this?
And you look in the mirror and you're shook. You're like,
is this me?
Koje, I look like this. Koje, I'm an entire human being.
It happened when I was like. It started happening when I was young. I was probably like 6. I'm like,
why?
Is this me? Is this Muzi? Or is this another person in another person's body? What's going on here? I'm like, okay. From that day, and then I noticed, and I'm like, this is creepy.
It's really creepy.
There's so many things when they happen. You're like,
because I feel like if you are reincarnated, your reincarnated soul is aware of the fact that they are reincarnated. But you, as the person living in that time, you won't know. You don't even know what type of spirit this is, what person this is. You don't know. But that I feel like that spirit or that person or whatever knows.
If I don't end up seeing seconds into the future, deja vu. I'm like, dude, what's going on?
Or like you feel like you've seen something somewhere, or you've been to a place and you really have not. And everything is just strange now because it's like, what are we doing here?
And you genuinely
have we done this before?
And you genuinely feel like you have been there.
Or I think you've seen it before.
I think it's one of two things. I think you may have seen it, or we were there. In a past life, in another realm, in another universe.
Whether you were dreaming, awake, either way, somewhere, somehow.
This thing just gets stranger.
It gets worse and worse.
Dude, for the mere fact, let's start here. For the mere fact that the universe itself is, you cannot quantify it. Let's start there. You can't quantify. Like you can't even wrap
Never
a head.
ending.
Like you can't wrap your head around a billion years. A billion light years away. What is that?
It's like thinking about the difference between a million and a billion. It's so big. And people undermine it, not the difference between 1 rand and 100 rand.
No, it's not.
So huge.
No, it's
So
not.
now imagine a billion light years. Like, what is life like then? It's just so many questions.
I have so many questions. And then
zero
and
answers.
then it's the difference between 1 billion and 1 trillion. You see? You see that thing now?
Yeah.
And then now you must talk about infinite. Oh what?
Infinite number of universes
What?
that we will probably
So
never
now
get to see.
So now you're still wrapping your head around the universe being infinite. You're still wrapping your head around that. Now they come up with a theory of which I think they're probably gonna prove. Probably not now. Probably probably 5 years. I think they're gonna be able to prove that there's an infinite number of universes. Now you're still wrapping your head around the fact that infinite number. It means never ending.
There's isn't
There's
a
no
single
stop.
number.
There's no stop. There's not even a single number. It
How
keeps
big
going.
is this place?
You can't even imagine that or quantify it.
Because it's so scary when you think of something that doesn't end. It's
Now,
like, why is it not ending?
You're still trying to wrap your head around that, of which we haven't yet. I don't think we're gonna. Now wrap your head around there being an infinite number of those universes. Now that there are infinite number of universes.
It's like, what are we even supposed to do with this information? It creeps me out like a bottomless pit would. You know, you ever watch something and then they throw somebody into a bottomless pit and you're like, it's so frustrating because it never ends. Like, what do you do? Like, what must happen? It's the same thing. You would say, there's just an infinite number of universes. Like,
at that point, you know what? I think you know what it does. It makes you are a. I'm not even sure microdot is the right word to use at this point. Microdot.
Because it feels like you're just not even a dent in the universe.
A blimp, but you are the star. Like you are the star that's made of stars. Yes, because we all. But also they say you are the tiniest of fragments in
this entire
infinite number of realities.
Sure.
That if you ask, you'd say it's not the stupid. It's not a stupid question per se, but you'd ask, what comes after the infinite number of universes? Like before the infinite number.
How do we even get there? How does the whole thing happen? How does it take place?
You see?
And then we go back to stuff like Newton's law, where it says energy cannot be created or destroyed, but only transferred from one source to another. Obviously, we are energy. Human beings are energy. What then happened? Which leads you back to the fact that reincarnation is probably real because energy doesn't just poof gone.
Yeah, it doesn't disappear. Newton's law supports it. It supports it.
Yeah, it's a lot of things, man. It's like now the energy is heat.
Yeah.
It's gonna die, it's gonna be preserved in the coal. The coal is gonna be thrown away, and then as it's thrown away, it's probably gonna end up on the ground somehow. Now it's back in the ground. Now
it fertilizes
the ground.
You can still take the coal. You can still take the coal, basa it again, and make fire.
Dude, it's never ending. It's like the
you make
more
fire
you
again,
think
still
about
becomes
it.
coal. It becomes fire. Put that bad boy in the ground. You pendulela it. Next thing, the soil is fertile. You plant.
Now you eat the fruits, and then you take the seed, you plant it again.
Dude.
Trees, guys.
Dude.
It's like the more you think about it, it's like everything just has so many parallels. And
I think you know what? I think that's why spirituality and religion are so simplistic for me. I think that's why they're so simplistic. There's a universe. There might be an infinite number of universes, and there might be something before that. I would
mind after.
Listen, I can't get my head around the universe. I can't. And then the infinite numbers one, that just blows my mind. And then the one,
now you must think of how we even got to even exist, and before existence.
So it
what
means,
was happening?
So it means you being that blip. It's like if something had happened a fraction. We're not talking, no, a fraction differently, you probably wouldn't exist. And you're like, oh, you think about the
When you
person.
think about these things, you're like, yes, if this didn't happen, or if maybe this person and this person met a second later, or like a microsecond later, this wouldn't have happened, they wouldn't have met, I wouldn't even exist.
Dude. So you know what? It makes me feel small, but not in the sense that I am worthless, right? But it makes me feel small and makes me realize good
There are greater things,
things out there. I'm part of something that is so much bigger than myself, that I should just do what I'm here supposed to do. And certain things where I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and if it's about, and when it's time for lights out, it's lights out. If I'm reincarnate, I reincarnate. If I don't, then I'm dead, so I won't care
see
anyway.
what happens there.
You see, what happened? Like in scientific terms, you die, you dead. When you die, you dead. Imagine you just dead. You just dead laying there. You decompose.
Basically.
Decompose.
But even
your
that,
energy, even that, it's energy being transferred.
the ground, it feeds maggots,
Those maggots feed birds. Those birds feed other birds. Those dudes.
Guys, it makes you feel like as everything is just a never-ending cycle.
And it just keeps on. I mean, they saying the universe is expanding faster than it was probably. Let me make it last week. Because ever since the Big Bang, ever since it's exploded, it's only been expanding faster, which means it's gonna explode again. When it explodes, it's mass extinction. Then it's
Start from point A.
It starts again.
But I feel like my main question, what boggles me the most is, before that, what was even existence?
Buhle, if first of all, if you cannot answer the question of the universe as of yet,
how are you gonna even answer the terms of existence? Yeah, guys, it makes you question everything, really. It even, like, I feel like, it's like stuff like that makes me realize we can't even rule out that stuff like mermaids and vampires and werewolves don't really exist.
Atlantis.
What have we seen?
Atlantis.
We can't even say that doesn't exist. Dude, what have we seen? We don't know what's going on out there.
Dude, well, apparently we only explored how many percent of the ocean?
I think it's a couple of years ago it was only 5%. I don't know where it's at now.
Dude.
But it's probably not even.
It's probably.
And here's the thing, the more they explore it, the more they realize that we haven't really seen the ocean.
Dude, 90% of it. We haven't seen 90% of the ocean.
What are we doing? You're telling
90%
me
of it.
There's no lost world there. And then you have stuff like the Bermuda Triangle,
where the weird shit happens.
Go. Like, is that like a vortex to like the next, or
is it another dimension? Are you going to another dimension? Are you going to another universe?
It reminds me of the time I was still in primary school. My friend group and I don't know, we thought we were like some sort of scientists, and we were trying to solve the Bermuda mystery. Then we were there screenshotting pictures and everything. We're like, yeah, guys, one day we must go to Bermuda. Did we ever go? Will we ever go? No, because we're not trying to risk our lives.
No, trying to solve something.
I feel like there's just so many questions. That place is just, it's like, what's going on there? Then there was the whole Area 51 thing. What was that?
Dude,
what was the Area 51?
There was like, guys, okay, listen, there's aliens. Sharp. Done. All of the time, people have been fighting. You guys have been saying, no, there's no aliens. And then you just wake up and, guys, there's aliens. Okay, aliens exist. By the way, aliens exist. Sure.
Bye. It's mind-boggling. It's like, honestly, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw some, like, vampire come to me and be like, yes, I am a vampire, or half serpent, half thingy thing. I would not be shook. You would. I'd be taken off guard, yes.
Of course.
I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know. How is this even possible? It's
like this, like, it makes you realize what I guess, I don't know, angazi abantu bazoyibizana ukuthi mhlawumbe lihlele ukuphila impilo ukuthi taking the good or the bad, it sounds very cliche and sounds corny. But with this realization that I am probably the smallest of blips in the entire universe, good things happen. It's they random. Okay, you know what? I think at some, and then you're probably gonna have to ask the question, Uguti, what about poor people? Because it seems like an occurrence of bad things happen to them. But in that particular case, you can sort of explain the bad things that as are alive in their lives. Death, it happened, right? You fell, you broke your leg. You broke your leg while running or something. You were chasing a bad, right? You got in a car. Okay, car accident. Well, human beings can be blamed for that. Other human beings, but with being poor, it's not a slippery slope, but it now becomes a very difficult conversation to navigate around because you could be naive. You sound very naive when you say just take the good with the bad. What about the poor person that has an regular occurrence of bad things happening to them? But then again, you would also explain, would you? Well, it's because of those bad things. They happen because there are people who are making those bad things happen. There might be bad things happening in their lives because some of them are random. They might be losing their mom or parent or dad. They might not have found the cure at that particular point, or they could have taken him to hospital, but they couldn't, or the government was negligent. And that particular point, you don't just say, okay, bad things just happen, right? Sometimes bad things happen
because
the government was negligent.
Or because this person didn't do their job well or was supposed to.
Exactly. So it's not an easy thing to say, but no, you must just take the good with the bad. You can't tell a poor person you must take the good with the bad. Like, dude, their lives are mostly shit.
Basically, in a basic setting.
It's basically like their lives. It's just like as
something good happening is a rare occurrence.
It's very rare.
It's like, oh, okay.
Or you could argue that you could argue that good things were supposed to happen and then bad people sabotage them. Like people sabotage that. You could also argue that, but then at the same time, you can't say take good the good because people receive more bad than they receive more good, or rather, people receive more good or more than depending on their standing.
There are so many things that go into how a person's life pans out.
So that's what I'm saying. Life is life is a gray area. There's no black and white. People try.
Basically,
it's an entire gray area. You cannot just say, no, YOLO, you only live once, or terrible advice, by the way. I don't know.
As for you only live once.
I don't know.
I feel like if I wanted to go get a tattoo, I would go get it. If I wanted to go bungee jumping, I would go because at the end of the day, I feel like I don't want to be like, okay, I'm sick, I'm gonna die soon, and then jiggy now I'm like, oh, I should have gone bungee jumping, I should have gotten that tattoo. I think that's just the type of person that I am.
Being full of regrets. You don't want to be full of regrets.
I mean, there will be regrets, obviously. Not you're not gonna be perfect, but saying I don't wanna have regrets on things that I had the opportunity to do, but didn't.
Exactly.
You understand?
But yeah, for most people, they're not. I would think they've been dealt a crappy hand. It's just there's just some other people who are just terrible people, man. They're just terrible people. I think they're full of shit, honestly. And they're taking people for fools, man. They're taking advantage of them. They genuinely committing crimes against humanity, dog. These politicians that steal all of this money, they're stealing people's lives, man.
Yeah.
They're stealing, like you're stealing people's lives. Not just you are stealing people's lives.
That's the money that you're stealing that could be providing a resource or a service could be the fine line between this person's entire existence and their death. You understand? So it's like,
and when the person dies, knowing that something could be done to save them, becomes another thing. But no, it was that time. What if it wasn't?
How do you know?
How do you know it was that time?
You are pulling strings.
No, you can't just use religion. No, if God says you. No, you can't.
I feel like now religion and spirituality have become something that people used to hide behind.
Oh, people hide that.
People like it's gonna be completely different, but with the whole in America, I think there's that whole thing on women not being allowed to get abortions. It's a very controversial conversation. But like there's this thing where they're like, no, but in the Bible, why are we generalizing?
No, they cherry pick that all the time. But there's probably a portion of the Bible that says women women
There's
can abort.
probably somewhere in the Bible where somebody was aborted. I've heard this from people that are Christian themselves, would say, but no, man, there is a scene where this happens, this happens, this happens. So for me, I feel like people hide behind religion for everything.
Everything.
Person can commit a full-on crime. You could see this one is a crime with
but
the
we
intention
play-
to do a crime, and then they're like, no, but then
It's
this
justified.
religion says. And I feel like we can't even say it's Christianity alone, because Christianity we can't blame it very because it's one of the biggest religions in the world.
Exactly. Just
But religion in general.
yeah.
I think I blame more religion than I do spirituality, because religion is merely or mainly focused on other entities, higher entities, whereas spirituality is focused on self and bettering self and human interactions and how to better your interactions with human beings. Whereas religion is more about serving a god, following their rules, just to in the end die and go to the place where they existed. Understand?
See.
Whereas with spirituality, it's merely about you healing and living a life that would not put other people in harm or danger or in danger alone.
So I think that's why I am. I'm not in the middle. People say no. Should you stuck? I'm not stuck in the middle. I'm not. Do you believe in anything? No. I'd say human beings that are gonna disappoint me from time to time. They will definitely. They will more times than I can count. But you have to continue to believe in people, man. Because otherwise, believing in I believe in myself also, yeah. But I'm also open. Like I'm open to so many other things. If those things they make sense, why not?
Then why not?
Why not?
I also feel like just do what resonates with you.
Dude,
Do what resonates with you.
if it doesn't harm other people,
Do it.
dude, who's
Do
gonna
it.
stop you?
Like, I was having a conversation the other day, and somebody asked me, Buhle, why are you not religious? Why are you not Christian? Da, 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 da. I'm like, it doesn't resonate with me, first of all. I don't understand some rules and things that are done in Christianity. I don't understand the practice of going to church every Sunday. I don't understand certain things that are done in Christianity, nor do I resonate with them. So I'm not going to practice something that I don't feel resonates with me. And because I am spiritual, I found something or a system that works for me. You understand? So if mina ngizophahla ngoba ngiya-understand ukuthi ngiphahlela, number 1. 2,
Exactly.
it resonates with me. 3, it's not something completely foreign. You understand? So, hi man, do what works for you.
Dude,
Do what works for you, really.
as long as you're decent to other people, man.
Like,
Who will judge you?
how? It's your life at the end of the day.
Dude.
And people make it seem if you're not religious, it's like the worst thing in the world. It's like you are.
No, I feel people just they become judgmental about so many things. Dude, it goes back to people having different levels of success. People always view success as you know when you don't have the same standard of thing? Like somebody's epitome of like a great restaurant experience would be going to like a 5-star restaurant with a 5-course meal with expensive wines, and then somebody would appreciate, and then somebody would be over the moon. A KFC. Don't take that away from them. Don't say how. Oh yeah, KFC. No, don't do
Don't
that.
take away people's happiness, guys.
Dude, it makes them happy. So if we're KFC and
When
they get
a Michelin star restaurant.
and then you don't have to compare the two. Don't compare it. Don't compare the two.
Don't try to be that person that compares things. You don't need to live life in comparison to
Dude,
others.
it makes them happy.
Okusalayo.
It makes them yeah.
How?
Like
Let
people
live their
get
lives.
weird.
People.
Actually, I mean, yeah, like
Wait,
remember the
keep
KFC
that to
couple?
you.
Remember the KFC couple? But this is not about you, dude. It's not. Don't
not
make it
about
about you.
It doesn't have to be about you.
When proposal KFC. But whenever they're happy.
Married.
When you are here complaining about people
Because they
didn't
proposed to you at KFC.
see. Right, dude.
No man. No man. It
Ufuna-
just goes to show how differently we think as human beings.
Dude, like people
And the fact that there's so many factors that go into how you think.
like people are content with the smallest of things. Like you'd find that people are just content with the smallest of things. Some other people are just content with just. Of course, everybody wants purpose, right? Some other people they just omunye umuntu alright yena ngiziphuza utshwala. Yasebenza, aphuza utshwala, ubhadala irent.
Just
Uhappy.
vibes.
Ukuthi
No
wena,
vibes, just vibes.
ukuthi wena uthi uphuza utshwala kakhulu, ungenaphi?
Mpilo kabani kanti?
People now.
That's what I always ask. Whose life is it?
People
Don't
now.
try to make,
Uzogula.
don't try to have people live their lives the way that you think they should be living them.
So if you Monday to Friday uzele emsebenzini, weekend asiphuzela utshwala, Monday goes back to work, usibhadalele irent, uyijikijiki uyahamba yenza ama-regular check-up, ahamba check igazi, but he still drinks alcohol. Who are you? Because we all gonna die anyway. People say, okay, some people say, okay, that's a naive way to look at life. Okay, right, fine. So you want people to have healthy diets and don't. You can't afford, that person can afford to have healthy diet.
Person can't afford to be buying mushrooms and
all of these things, chopping them up, shapa, stir fry, mola, business, red wine, chicken breast,
we just have different mindsets on life, and I feel like not only does it depend on what type of household you were raised in, it also depends on so many factors, like when growing up, what type of person were you?
Exactly.
Like what did you read? What did you see? How do you view the world?
Exactly.
How open-minded are you?
And where are you now? Like at this point, where are you now? Like at this point, where are you? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to change? Listen, it doesn't make their life doesn't make their life insignificant because they're not trying to change the world. They're simply trying to live their lives.
Everybody has significance. Everybody's life is significant.
So if
just because you feel like it's much less than you would be doing or what you aim to do, doesn't mean it doesn't have significance.
I hate that though. Like I genuinely loathe people. Not loathe. I think loathe is a strong. I genuinely don't like abantu who like to make other people's life seem insignificant because they're not doing something big with their life. So what's the definition of that?
How?
What their definition of big could be mangathola imoto nehlahla and a family.
Your definition of big could be going to Dubai in a private jet. That doesn't mean you have the right to make that guy's house and car insignificant in comparison to you because we're in a private jet.
Or my dream is to take my family to Durban. You can't laugh at that. It's not.
Because when your dream is to take people to America, you understand?
Yeah.
You can't. Don't belittle
people get weird, especially on social. People get weird on social media, though. Why do you have to be classist?
People hide behind social media because they know that you can't actually do it.
Why, like people are classist. How so
to somebody that is like huge.
Everything like planning. Probably he had 2 years start to they plan and no, I just want to take me and my girlfriend on to Durban. They go to Durban. Hotel. He comes back there hip. When we think peace back. I would never. You must set standards. What kind of standard? Set the standard, mama. First of all, let's start the unemployment rate. Okay, besides unemployment rate, besides that, okay, besides that, your preference. Yeah, what you think? What's your jam? Some other people. But then, but they find it nice. I don't.
Enjoyable for them. Perfect night.
Perfect. I don't.
Then you Zanzibar
yeah,
vibes. And that's okay.
And I'm not gonna. You can't make fun of the fact that there was. How? So Puma
How? You know, a question you must forever ask yourself before deciding to comment on somebody's lifestyle or somebody's life is. How is this any of my business? And if I say this, what difference does it make? They're not killing anybody. Everybody's alive. Everybody's fine.
Everybody's fine.
Why must I be triggered?
People are sitting at home drinking tea. Some of them are drinking tea. Some of them are drinking tea. They're drinking beer in a bar. When you are triggered,
you are triggered.
How? And then because I so happen to enjoy exactly. I so happen to enjoy Zanzibar Scope and then
And just because when you're busy there, you're Netflixing and chilling.
and chilling.
Now
I'm at
I must feel
Netflix
bad
and shit. Oh, don't make me
for
feel bad,
watching
dog.
Zanzibar
This is
Scope.
my idea
I mean,
of downtime and watching quality content. This is quality to me. I like it.
to me, this is like
Yeah. So
me
when
time, soft
so
care.
don't judge it.
Don't judge me.
Hey, people can judge. I hate people.
People
Don't
like
judge.
judge.
Why are you judging?
I mean,
And when they get judged, when they get judged,
they are triggered.
they're triggered. There's no, don't judge me. This is what I. But yeah,
But
you know, so long ago we were
you
judging
do
people for
say-
watching Zanzibar Scope.
So
You see?
I feel like it also goes in hand in hand with having to unlearn a lot of things, because I feel like certain habits you pick up with the people that you live with.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you'd be sitting and maybe your grandmother, your mom, or maybe your cousin or somebody would say something, and you're just like, but no. No. But growing up to you, maybe that was normal. But as you grow, you realize that there are certain things that you must unlearn. And in order to unlearn them, you must start back to square one in order to realize, because you know what, I have no control over other people's lives.
Dude.
And I need to stop thinking that
They should live a life
according to what I think is right.
So as long as they're not hurting anybody,
As long as nobody's losing their lives or getting hurt, or let's just vibe. Let's just all exist.
dog, do your thing. Do your thing. If your thing is eating mushrooms, getting high, going to dog,
Making music, if when your thing is dancing, whatever, babes.
do your thing. Just do your thing. I'm not gonna judge you. People should stop judging you for that. Because you're just you. So what you just here for that? You do it when you're just
That's
here
right.
just to make yourself happy. A couple of 10 other people happy. Those 10 people, those 10 particular people, they wouldn't imagine the world without you. Those 10 people, it's not a lot, no? But it's 10 people, they wouldn't imagine the world without you.
I also feel like Kambe, it goes also hand in hand with the fact that you can't even be like, yo, but being in a relationship or a polyamorous relationship is wrong, or a polygamous relationship is wrong. Hey, people live their lives.
Let people do what they want.
If this person wants to date a man, a woman, and a person that doesn't identify as either, let them.
Dude, polygamy, when you have a take, you have a hot take, or you have an opinion, okay, fine.
It's okay to have opinions. Everybody's gonna have opinions. Us speaking like this, we have opinions.
But you can't,
But don't judge. If a person wants to be out there, let them.
And
You may not
your
want
opinion
to do
should
that.
be, okay, man, I wouldn't do that. Okay, you wouldn't do that. Right?
But let the other people do it then.
And don't stop them from doing it.
Nor should you make them feel bad
For doing it. Rather, yes. People get genuinely weird. But like Muzi are weird, yeah, I'm weird, and what are we supposed to do with that? So you watch I'm a series and then repeat episodes. I'm like, yeah, what? And you recite from episode 1 that yeah. How? And then
what must continue to happen? Let me do it.
And then I enjoy it, man.
It's like the other day I was telling my friends, not my friends, but some classmates of mine, that I really enjoy watching like both Steven Universe, The Amazing World of Gumball, Total Drama Island. Remember those cartoons?
Oh yeah, I remember. Total Drama Island was the ish, dog.
Yeah, I was rewatching it.
Why stop it, Velcom?
Yeah, they stopped it. It's been a while now.
It was top tier content. Watching that, I would laugh.
And as you rewatch it now, you get all the little jokes and everything.
Exactly.
You're like, oh,
that's what.
And people are just like, ugh, but you're so old to be watching cartoons. I'm like,
what?
Like this Lali Zigzag Kwara Kwara the other day, people were like, you guys are so old for what you're doing.
Oh?
You're
telling us you're old. Girlfriend was like, why are you watching cartoons? Why you guys, we're speaking about cartoons. Why were you guys talking about, why were you telling, how do you watch cartoons? She was asking that question. I watch cartoons. Are you lying? Yeah, I do. When?
General.
Just general.
Just like how when I watch Zanzi Magic 161 River. Yes.
Yeah. Aksama Popeye anime.
Fine line between them. Very, very fine line between the two.
When they sort of said that, I was like, it's anime. But anyways, I understand what you guys are trying to say. Yes, Why ngithi amnandi?
What do you
Hathi
mean,
amara
why?
Popeye ngithi hawu and ndibukele
It's
the
not your
Queen.
cup. How? It's not your cup of tea. Doesn't mean it's not mine.
Yeah, ndibukela bo the Queen, ndibukela bo
The River.
the
Wena
River.
Uzalo.
Yeah, you watch those things and you enjoy that. I don't.
Just like how I enjoy anime. It's like let me enjoy what I enjoy.
Enjoy.
Guys.
Andilimala, uyalimala.
How is it triggering you? How is it bothering you? Why? Why are you triggered?
PTSD.
Guys, I feel like
What the PTSD?
let me heal my inner child in peace.
Dude,
If I want to watch,
I'm taking care of my inner child.
if mina ngifuna ukuyobhamba kujumping castle yazohamba.
Dude,
Let me heal my inner child.
2010 is his 21st birthday. Next door neighbor, the late luck. You know what dude did? Hired a jumping castle. You thought kids were gonna bounce in it. Never. Adults.
They are there.
They were taking care of their
Shoes
what?
outside there.
Of course. And they were drunk out of their minds. They
Let
didn't
them
care. They're
bump
like,
in the
they're
jumping
taking care of their inner child.
Exactly.
I shall do the same. Sometimes you just find me, my feet are up. Or
you do things that people would associate
Say
kids to do.
Yeah, this other time, bakukota bangithola ngihleli like inyawo zami zithe ngicela ngibheke phezulu. Bathi ndoda wenza ngithi ngithi nix. Bathi makamuza umdala ngithi ngizongitshela into engitshela I can do what I want.
Ugange. Uthathi paper towel roll now you're busy
No,
there.
please.
Making binoculars with toilet rolls. It's like let me do those things in
peace. Can I do those things in peace? Can I do those things in peace?
Honestly.
Please, guys. We can't. Now I can't rock out to Imagine Dragons. It was radioactive. Petty pin while washing dishes because people think no.
Guys, leave me alone.
But like I Solomon, but he says, of course, Solomon says it as a joke, but yeah. But I had earphones on, I was busy washing dishes, and that rock solo came on.
You were there.
I was busy, I was busy. I was rocking out. By the end, I was like, but they looked at me as if
they're like,
dude, this is what you think it.
What are you
guys,
doing?
If you're not used to me by now,
I don't think you ever will be.
Exactly.
Don't think you ever
What Stranger Things?
I didn't actually. I saw all the trailers and stuff. I'm so lazy to watch Stranger Things. Because people say, just watch it from episode 1 to like. Thing is, I sometimes scroll through social media and then now jiggy there are spoilers. Now I don't want to watch it anymore because I know what happens. I don't look for it. You know how random
next thing you're reading the spoilers.
Jiggy, now I know who Vecna is. Mzuzu, I didn't even watch episode 1, season 1. Huh?
Dog. Stranger Things is fire.
Apparently, Zanene finished season 4 recently. Mbone Aposta, that song Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush, the one that plays in the scene with the girlie that floats, that's being chased by Vecna and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw she posted it. I guess she's done with it now. People are like, yeah, I'll watch it. It's the same thing with Euphoria. I didn't watch Euphoria. I'm not. There's a lot of things that I didn't watch.
I am not gonna watch Euphoria.
I remember we were discussing. So my friends are like movie people, and I'm not a movie person. I like series. I prefer series. So they'd be asking me about a movie or a certain series that I probably would never watch ever. Like, 100 Days, The 100, stuff like The 100. Is it The 100?
Any series?
Yeah, The 100 is a series. Series, yes. They'd be like, oh, did you watch The 100? I'm like, I didn't watch The 100 and I don't think I ever will. They're like, I'm like, guys.
It's not a train smash. Nobody's gonna die.
Did you die?
No.
Why are you triggered?
Nobody's gonna die. It's like, you haven't watched this movie? No.
I really haven't. It's like when people ask me, have you watched Bird Box? I'm like, any?
Bird Box. I think, did I finish that movie? I don't think I finished it. I think I was halfway through the movie. I was like,
I'm not watching.
So this person, they're not supposed to see anything, and then they're going through, it get complicated after that. I was like, but nah.
Another thing I didn't really watch that had so much hype was Lucifer. But I think I would be interested in watching it. I need the right motivation.
Yeah, Lucifer wasn't my thing.
I liked the originals. Would I watch it from episode 1? No. Did I like it when I watched it? Yes.
It's simple. The answer is very simple.
Fun of the Legacies I liked at first.
And then it
got boring after Josie. Was her name Josie? Yeah. She turned out to be some demon. And then now she wants to kill her sister. I was just so bored. I'm like, what are we even doing here?
Dog, they don't even have a main villain. That's why I got bored. God was very good.
And there were villains every different episode. And then there was that mad dude. Guys, what are you doing?
Malavo.
Malavo. Then there were
goodness.
necromancers. A part that I really enjoyed was necromancers because I think it was because I'd never watched a series that had a necromancer. I didn't know what a necromancer was till I watched
so that was
Legacies. So that was interesting. But now every story has a necromancer.
And this movie we are supposedly watching, is dreadful.
When like every time I steal a glimpse, people are being killed. It's like murder.
They tried to make a remake of this.
Maybe it's because I didn't watch the original.
They butchered it, dog. They butchered it. They're about to butcher him, but they butchered the entire movie.
Maybe, was it meant to be just a real life version of? Was it meant to be just a real life version of the animation? Or it's just like a totally different storyline?
I do not know what's going on. I just look at bad acting.
No, when you look for a second and things are like,
and bad fight scenes. This is just all around terrible.
It's like
and it plays on what channel is this? It plays on 114 level DSTV.
That new
channel thing.
It's like you could find better on streaming sites and whatnot.
This is dreadful. I'm sorry, this is dreadful. Listen, when you talk about top TV content for me, we must talk. I always go back to the blacklist. Wait. What's this series, man? Can't believe I'm forgetting its name.
The one with How to Get Away with Murder.
Not how.
Okay, don't get me wrong. Reddington.
That's the blacklist. Blacklist is top tier stuff. Not
the one about the gent that goes in the past and everything.
What?
You kept on telling me about
Dark. Top 2 of all time in my list.
Thing is, I haven't watched those, so maybe if I watch it, I'll understand. But another thing, a movie that I really enjoyed was Interstellar. I loved Interstellar.
I'd watch Interstellar again. I'll be watching it for the 15th time.
I love Interstellar. Interstellar was so nice. And it's like, at first you think it's such a boring movie. Well, for me, because I don't like movies. But Interstellar was nice.
And then when Masui Buhle, by the end of it, you're like,
so many parallels.
You're like, dang.
It kind of reminds me of, although it's not the same thing, Attack on Titan. Ne? You know when you rewatch Attack on Titan, it's like, but this thing shows up in season 4. But it's like a parallel. If I had caught onto this, then I would have expected this to happen.
Listen. Attack on Titan is top tier anime. That's why it's goated.
Nobody can tell me anything.
Attack on Titan is goated.
Basically.
The storylines, twists, the plots. It's like I'm watching. It's like I'm watching a live.
Nina manga nonke. Top tier.
Jiggy. Eren is a bad guy. Nini is not a bad guy.
It's like we can't even decide. You can't even kill Eren.
You can't kill him.
You find out that these people can't really die. They just go in this world where there's sand.
And they can come back at any time.
And they are made. And while they are being made, they could be there for years, but not even a second would pass in the real world. I was like, Angeg.
I never.
Angeg.
I was caught between a rock and a hard place and I couldn't decide whether Eren Yeager was a hero, a villain,
and whether we want him alive or dead.
Do we want him dead? Do we want him alive? And what's going on?
And the mere fact that you couldn't even tell what his intentions were.
You couldn't.
You still can't. Right now.
Namanje.
Thing is,
part 2.
No,
I'm still confused.
We're waiting for the movie now.
I'm just as confused as ever. So what are we gonna do with Eren?
Thing is, I read the manga, so I know how it ends. But when you watch the anime, animators have this tendency of changing something.
A small yana detail.
Small yana detail could change everything. So then Jiggy, the anime ending and the manga ending is not the same. It's the same thing with Tokyo Ghoul. It's not the same thing. It's like two different things. You'll be shook. Yeah.
Hi, Shem. Attack on Titan. Dude, at
Amazing.
the end of every season, I'm like,
From season 1.
dude, what just happened?
End of season 1, you're like, hi guys.
What just happened?
Hi Bonina.
And then you start the second season. Let me start it immediately.
Because I want to see,
See what's going on
here.
How fast is season 2? Hey, me clock, hey, me clock.
This is why it's so easy to finish Attack on Titan in like, I mean, I can say fast, you're done.
Dude,
4 seasons done, end the part 2, end the movie.
dude, by the end of season, by the end of and then they told me they still, but season 4 I got me clock. Saying man, kumele yonke ngimile ngicliffhanger phela.
It's serious.
Ngicliffhanger ngimele
And you know what Isayama does? Isayama just kills your favorite characters.
Yeah.
Oh, you like that person? Sorry, they're dead now.
Look what they did to Captain Levi.
Look what they did. Babes.
I was shooketh. What's
Levi, Erwin. No, was his name Erwin? Yeah, Erwin.
Dude.
The blonde, the blonde
Good guy.
captain. Sasha, the potato girl.
Dude.
Jiggy, one of the cadet, the corp, what, those people is a princess. Now, Jiggy, they might be carrying somebody's child. Yeah. And now you
Plots
find
and
out
twists.
that mother ate the other people.
Plots.
And the more you get into it, and then there's like, you understand the history of the wars, how they even got formed, who they were named after, how those people,
Dog. Top tier
I remember,
storytelling.
I thought the biggest plot twist was us finding out that Eren was a Titan.
Sure.
Small waters, those ones.
Nani.
Small
All
waters.
of these plots after the movie.
You're like, what did I just watch?
Now you're questioning yourself.
And-
so, are these people bad guys?
Are they good? Or are they other dudes that are bad?
You know it's top tier content when you can't even distinguish who's a bad guy and who's a good guy. You try to watch to decide for yourself.
But you can't.
But you can't.
It's like, even the guy that you thought was good is now suddenly like...
Yeah, now
And then as the more you watch, I feel like Attack on Titan needs you to like uyibukele with the intent to understand. You can't watch it in passing. You can never.
never.
It's too interesting
More
for it.
page. It's not page up.
You know the things you can watch with this cut.
Yeah, but Attack on Titan is not
Can't do
one
that
of
with
them.
AOT.
Zoli tried to. I was like, dude, what's going? Also,
do
by the time he was lost after episode 4,
And it's the flop, ne? Attack on Titan, you have to understand. You have to watch it from episode 1
yeah.
to understand what happens in season 3. Because now all of a sudden you're asking me where this guy is coming from.
Exactly.
Babes.
Now they're giving you. They're having a flashback. Now you have a flashback in your head of the first episode. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, I remember. And then
You remember the dream that Eren had in the very first episode. You're like, but this is happening in season 2. Huh? It's like, guys, what are we even doing with our lives at this point?
And then they blow your mind. Even before the season finale. Second last episode. Plot
Now,
twist.
like, we feel like as in... You know what shook me the most? Is when we learned, Uguti, if somebody shifts into like a Titan, like a... Not just a Titan, any Titan, like an abnormal, the ones that are like the female Titan and the colossal, you basically get the memories of the holder that was before you.
Exactly.
And you might even like adopt their tendencies. Like how Armin was basically obsessed with Annie because Bertolt, that guy, had a crush on Annie. I was like, just because you ate this person. Yeah.
Because like eating them,
That's
you inherit all of these things. The inheriting their
Titan.
tendencies. Same way, I don't know how true this is, Gucci, when like you get a heart from
Transplant.
somebody. That somehow those people change. That I think you always get like probably stories from people telling you no. But people they change somehow.
I think it also has to do with muscle memory.
Yeah.
And because water has memory, and I mean blood is a liquid. So maybe somehow, somewhere, there's some science that explains how the blood and cells have memory. Because cells have memory. That's something that has been established in science.
And it'll be nice to sort of see that document in some sort of way and study it further. How does
it work?
How does it translate in Akon?
How does it work? Another thing that blows my mind is the fact that the water that we're drinking out of the taps probably like was maybe underneath a dragon, not a dragon. What's these things? A dinosaur had its feet in that water that you just had a glass of right now. Because water has memory, it knows, da 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 da. It's the whole thing.
What?
Water has memory, and like water carries memory. You can tell how old water is. Did you not know that? I was shook when I found out. I'm like, huh?
Water has memory.
Water has memory.
Like an actual living thing.
Like it's like you can tell where it's been. If it passed by a dinosaur's feet, through science you can tell, okay, this one has passed by dinosaur's feet.
Okay.
So that's what they mean now that water has memory.
Okay. Yeah, you almost shook.
What did you think I meant?
Like, I thought you were about to blow my mind and tell me that water's a living thing. Come on now. And I was gonna dispute it. I'm like, And I was probably gonna Google and I was gonna tell you tomorrow. Never. What you are telling me? Let's Google it. It's what I usually tell. If you don't know something, just Google it. It's like people who have this impatience. People have impatience with kids. I don't know why. Why have impatience with kids?
With kids?
Yeah, kids.
They don't know any better, guys. I think I'm just generally impatient, which is why I don't even think I could ever handle having kids. But I don't think you should be blaming kids for what they do, guys. These are kids. Like,
why are you blaming kids for asking too many questions? Kids are going to ask questions, man.
They're going to be inquisitive.
Exactly. And if you want kids to love school, then you must feed their curiosity. It means that you have to answer the questions that they ask you.
Another thing that mom used to do that got me into the habit of like Googling stuff, and what if I have a question?
We finished the movie, didn't even watch it.
I don't know if you know what happened. I just saw 3 million people being killed.
Now they're standing there. They're talking about some good night sleep stuff.
All of a sudden, all those people are just
Mulan Legend. Terrible movie.
Yeah, so what was I saying?
No, you said mom got you into...
Yeah, she got me into this thing of Googling stuff. Like, whenever I ask her a question, she'd be like, go and Google. And that's what got me into the habit of, if there's something I don't understand or something I don't know, I can always go Google, because mom doesn't have all the answers. Obviously.
Exactly.
So just go Google. Google will probably give you an answer.
But then again, I mean, if you're younger, you should. I think if I guys and you guys Google it together, they should find a way
to explain it to you.
In a way that's digestible to you. Also, can't we grasp it yourself? Because I feel like it becomes fruitless if also
because like Umam would always like Google with me. I said, no, I'm not sure. Let's check. Then we check, and then she'd be like, oh, okay, so it's like this.
And then she explained it the way that.
And she wouldn't explain it Gubangati, I'm stupid or anything. No. She explains it to my level of understanding, and that would be great. Because now I understand what's going on.
I think that's beautiful. You put it perfectly. Explain to the level of the understanding of the person, right? Yes, with some other people you'll find when they read, it's like, oh, okay, I understand. But in some other cases, they're like confused. Talk about confused about, and then you have to explain. Probably explain the second time, and then probably the third time, probably use some sort of example so they can sort of understand. It's okay. Itate kanji, magusona so. Oh,
then they get it.
Okay, so that's the level of it. Doesn't mean they're stupid or the slow learners. It's just what their thought process.
It's not the same as yours.
It's like how they absorb information is the same way.
So people just have flops with that, and I feel like certain people just avoid answering answerable questions to kids just because they are lazy to answer.
If
a kid is gonna ask you a question and you know the answer, just tell them.
Why do you need to? Because they're gonna ask you 50 other million times. Just answer them now.
So they don't ask you again and again and again.
So they know the answer now, so they don't need to ask you again. Human beings are weird.
Very weird.
That's what I keep saying. Human beings are very weird. They're strange. Yeah, this channel is no.
It makes Asian TV looks so bad, and it's really good.
Dude.
The more I watch K-dramas and watch animes, it's like these people, their plots are so nice, everything, the quality.
Dude.
Then you see this on TV and you're like, never mind. But I guess there must be some sort of balance.
You see, and just like we had said before, this is so to some. There's a person
Out there,
This is
that
quality
says,
television.
yo, to them
That
it's
movie,
like
that Mulan,
sauce.
that Mulan legend
To
movie,
them,
it was
to them.
sauce, dog.
Best movie to
10 out
ever
of 10.
exist.
They're probably gonna tell somebody about it tomorrow.
And they'll
Dog,
be like, go watch this movie.
you must watch Mulan Legend.
And then they don't understand the hype. But that's you. And this is
Exactly, same way.
I don't judge you for it.
So,
Enjoy
yeah.
it when I'm dancing. Enjoy
The
it.
same way people told me go watch a movie. I watched the movie. Like, was it nice? I was like, it was okay. Yeah, okay. And then people, dog guys don't freak out. It's okay.
Why are you triggered?
Yeah, Thor Love and Thunder. Crap. I'm gonna say it's crap. Thor Love and Thunder was crap. Decent movie was Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
I think I enjoyed the experience of being at a cinema because I hadn't been there in a while. I enjoyed the experience of being at a cinema.
But the movie itself,
not the movie, just being there,
what?
drinking a slushy, popcorn, just being there, just being present
Living
was
life,
for me
dog.
was like, okay, it's nice to be here. But just the movie itself, it was kind of boring at first. Even I was like, what are we doing here?
Fish.
Why are we kicking? You know, a part that made me just like cringe was when he said, I don't know what he was talking about somebody or some people. And then he was just like, at some point, they're right behind me, aren't they? I'm like, hey, Bowen, it's 2022. Can we not?
Alright,
I was
guys,
like, hey,
sure.
guys, like,
The entire trailer is basically the
movie. And then people, this girlie dies, jiggy now. They have beef. Oh, another movie that I watched that I actually enjoyed, but I felt like it could have still been done a bit better, was how do you pronounce it? Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi and the Legend.
Shang-Chi.
Woo!
The Legend of Ten Rings. It was
Sauce.
amazing.
Sauce.
It was amazing.
Sauce.
It's like,
Dude,
okay, this is different.
did you see the top scene for me is the scene where they're climbing on that, I don't know, the protector. Ne? And he's swinging with the rings, ne? And then they're gonna destroy the soul sucker. And you know what it does?
Yeah.
And then Tatama inside the mouth of soul sucker, and then it goes up, and then they slow down, dog. And the color,
that music layer.
yeah, the Chinese do 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 do. And you find it. Was speed. And when they came back, dog,
like the movement,
dog, I got goosebumps.
everything was just so crisp. I loved it.
I watched it, and then I went back to watch it, and I watched it at home. Watched it for that scene.
I enjoyed it. It was really nice.
That other scene, that scene where. Oh, that scene when he was actually fighting with his father.
With his
when
dad.
he was gonna get the rings, right?
Crisp.
Like, yeah.
Then Jen just dies in the end, just like
Yeah, he decides to save his kid because he realized what
Basically.
what he had actually done.
yeah.
And like I think there's probably you're gonna see post credit scene. Did you watch it?
I saw it where they were being called into that entirely different universe and everything.
Captain Marvel Bayashibati. The use of the rings was felt from all the way from group. Oh, from the School of Mystic Arts, I think. The use of the rings the first time. So, damn it! If you haven't watched Miss Marvel,
I mean, I think it's so have to watch all these things. I really like.
probably because
what
there's
the thing is for
there's a
me,
correlation I think between E.
You know what the thing is for me? It's better for me to watch something that is like updating. Like right now, everything that I'm watching is still updating. Mbogela Alchemy of Souls, it's still updating. Extraordinary Attorney is still updating. But once something is there, I feel like I know that I can watch it at any given point. I don't know, maybe that just makes me relax a little bit. But if into yaphela manje and I know that I have to wait for the next episode, then I think it's easier for me to watch things that are still updating. Which is why Alchemy of Souls was so addictive for me. And like Tale of the Nine-Tailed. I watched the first episode, I was like, okay, this seems nice, but I can always finish it later. Yeah, so it's like I'm very nonchalant.
Like with movies, I cherry pick them.
I'm not a movie fan, Sham. I'm not
When I am, you know why? Because they sort of go into because imagine they make HBO is doing a series. Disney is a series of Marvel, so you're sort of watching the series, but they also coincide in a movie. So you'd watch Peacemaker to coincide and nobody I'll come in but the movie I'm anticipating for the rest of the year, the Black Adam. I'm anticipating Black Adam is listen. Black Adam is it has to be the movie of the year for me. If it is, if I get and be underwhelmed,
You'll
but
be very
by seeing the trailer,
disappointed.
I thought, oh,
Man, it's just hard for me to watch movies, and I thought maybe this was the thing with these human movies. No, it's the same thing with animes. I remember I've watched a couple of anime movies. I think I've watched Perfect Blue. I've watched Shoujo Tsubaki, which was very disturbing. I did not enjoy that movie. Then I've watched A Silent Voice, I think, and it was just those. So, with that being said, I still was not keen on what's going on here. Why is it freezing? On watching movies, regardless, are they anime or are they actual human beings? Movies in general, they
yeah,
say no for me.
they're not the thing. Yeah, I mean, I like it. I play cherry picked up, and I've been procrastinating to Bugela in Enchanted. I'm not sure if I want.
Enchanted.
Yeah, Enchanted.
Is the animation?
It's based on the no, it's a live action.
Enchanted.
It's
I feel
based
like
on the
I've heard
game.
it
Yeah,
somewhere.
it's based on the game. Yeah,
There's a game.
yeah.
But I also like the new movies that Disney is like airing out because now they're being a bit more inclusive to people of different ethnic groups, different races. So it was nice to watch. What's this thing? Not Luca, the other one. Encanto. Encanto was really nice. It taught us a lot about like Mexican culture and everything. It was really nice to see them being inclusive. Then there was Luca. I didn't finish Luca though. It was quite tedious to watch. But
I think
it's nice.
I think I need to watch in Canto Icon. If I do, I think I'll find it very enjoyable.
Probably. I have it on USB. I have it on my USB.
Okay,
Very nice.
might do something about that. My USB.
It's very nice.
What was I thinking, man? Oh, I forgot.
I wonder what you were going to say. Yini so